All right, let's begin. Thank you everyone for joining me. If you're joining from the US, good morning. And if you are joining from India, good evening. I will be the host of this session. My name is Alma Chopra. And today's topic for discussion is anger. Anger 101. Okay, so anger. I think everyone gets angry, some more than others, but I think it's a pretty global reaction that people have. So in this discussion, I'll be breaking the session down into a couple of parts. The first one is what is anger? The second will be what causes anger. The third is why people get angry differently. The fourth will be side effects of anger. And then the fifth will be ways to quell our anger. So, and if there are any comments during the chat, please let me know and I'll try to direct my attention to any comments that come about. So that being said, I think we can get started. Okay, so what is anger? Anger is a coping mechanism. It's one of the ways in which we can deal with stress. And there are a lot of coping mechanisms, but anger makes us feel it's one way we can understand and rationalize the stressful situation that we come across. So what causes anger? I think in general, frustration causes anger. So if you look at the different causes of anger, whether it's road rage, losing a loved one, when it's failing at something, these all cause stress to some extent, and they cause frustration. And the way we can cope with frustration is, well, one way is getting angry. So why do people get angry differently? So we're all different and we all have different levels of tolerance. Road rage, for example. Some people have road rage, some people don't. Some people have higher spikes of road rage, while other people's road rage is more tamed. The other example that I gave you is losing a loved one. Some people have a higher tolerance, so they can cope with that loss, and they can cope with that loss in other ways that are more melodramatic, or they can kind of subdue their emotions. People have different reactions or different coping mechanisms. They can kind of bury themselves in the work, or they can divert the energies in other ways, but different coping mechanisms, different scales to which they have the outbursts. Another thing is, depends on your personality type. People who are more type A personality, more anal, more controlling, they will implode, versus those of us that are more type 2 personalities will tend to explode. So when we implode, we'll blame ourselves, and we'll start the negative self-talk. And that will lead to depression, anxiety, and a whole host of other negative situations. Some people are maybe some type 2 personality, people will explode, and that's when we tend to blame others and for the grief or the stress that we're going through, and therefore our anger can be displaced to other people. So I will pause there to see if there are any questions or any comments in the chat. No, there are not. So we can go ahead. Some side effects of anger are increased blood levels. Our hormones change because there are different hormones that are released in our body. Like all emotions and feelings and thoughts, anger is an emotion that is psychosomatic, which means it's physical as well as psychological. It'll produce not only a psychological reaction, because anger starts in our brain, but it'll also produce a physical reaction. So the side effects of anger, they can be good, right? So increased energy levels, we get a spike in some hormones like adrenaline, and we get hotter, which makes us more, I guess, motivated to do something about how we feel. And I think that's good in a way, because it can motivate us to do something about it, but also affect expressing anger can also expressing yourself is always a good thing. So if anger can be a vehicle for that, hopefully short-lived, that's a good side effect of anger. I think anger has a lot of negative side effects, and I think one of the biggest ones is that it can be harmful to your health. Anger produces, like we just stated, a lot of hormone changes in your body, increased body temperature. Along with that, there's your blood pressure, will increase. Sometimes people, because that affects our nervous system. So some people, including myself, when I get really angry, we start shaking. And that's not always a good thing, especially when you have a neurological condition. So let's talk about ways to quell our anger. So we know that people resolve and go into anger management when they feel their anger has exceeded a level that they can address and kind of quell by themselves. But I think anger at a certain level is something, once you notice that something makes you angry, and when you're in the state of getting angry, I think there's a couple of things that can help. One thing is deep breathing. When you're getting angry, when you feel shaking coming on, or when you feel yourself, in most cases, I see people, actually, I've known someone, when he got angry, his ears got hot. When I get angry, my palms get hot. So when you're in that state of feeling that your body temperature is warming up, you can start deep breathing exercises. There are two effects of this. Number one is when breathing affects your nervous system, and then calms your nervous system. So it's the parasympathetic nervous system part. It's the part of your nervous system. Breathing is automatic. So if you focus your breathing, it calms your nervous system. But number two, it redirects your attention, your energy. And that brings us to the second thing of how to quell your anger. If you divert your attention. So, for example, someone just said something to me that made me really angry, and generally, you start. When something makes you angry, you ruminate it, you think about it, you say, oh, I can do this or I can do that, or how I can get back with her, how I can get back to her, how I can justify myself. And this keeps going on and on and on, and your anger level just increases and increases, and the effects will just get more detrimental as you go along. The third thing to quell your anger, when you start feeling the anger coming on, is muscle relaxation. So when you get angry, a side effect is your muscles tighten in your body, which is actually a negative side effect to getting angry. So when our muscles tighten, it kind of restricts our body. But if you feel yourself getting angry, one thing you can do is you can consciously start trying to relax your muscles. So let me see if anyone has any questions or any comments. And I guess not. So I want to sum up and conclude this talk by saying, figuring out what makes you angry is very important. When you meditate on it, and if you can think about it, what makes you angry, this will help you help yourself in minimizing negative effects of anger. So if you can figure out what makes you angry, you're going to be helping yourselves. I know that I'm more of a I would say my gut reaction. I don't think about things. When something makes me angry, my gut reaction is just to explode. But I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to take a step back, think about the situation, why it makes me angry, and then try to figure out ways to not let it make me angry. So I hope that helps. And remember, you can. It's you that has to make the decision. That first understand why anger is not good for you, and then make a decision how to help yourself. People will support you, but you are the one that has to make the first step towards that improvement. So again, I appreciate you guys all for joining me or listening to this session. I hope you found it beneficial. So again, the things we discussed are: what is anger? What causes anger? Why people get angry differently? The side effects of anger, and how to quell anger. And I will see you all later on my channel, and thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day or the rest of your evening. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.